Hello again and welcome. And welcome too to our new 400 subscribers from last week alone, bringing us up to a nice neat figure of 12,000. Thank you so much. So if you are new to the channel, basically every other week you get Maria and I doing our thing at home with river trips and looking after the villa and the dog Albie and whatever's going on in our lives. And then every second week we film expats or immigrants, whatever it is you want to call them. And this week is no exception. This time we're interviewing a couple who have their own YouTube channel, but they've also built their own home from scratch. How amazing is that? This time, meet the lovely Cath and Mark. This is really strange because it's such a small world, this YouTube thing, isn't it? Because we feel like we know you. We've watched every show, I have to say. And it's really weird being here and seeing it almost finished now. And it's just an incredible thing, I think, for you to share your lives with us all. How do you make time to do the YouTube channel? I know that you're skipping the odd week.
Oh yeah, we've skipped a few actually.
We have, and that's been the challenge, because when we first started, it was for family and well, it was our son-in-law who said, just do a channel, just so we can keep up with you, so we're not like phoning you every day or every week finding out what's going on. Okay, we'll do that. So we did, but because for our work, I'm a videographer, Kath's a photographer.
See, I didn't know that until today.
Okay.
Because you never talk about it. I see you as just taking on this massive project and just getting on with it.
Yeah.
You know, we never see what you really do.
All right, okay, yeah, so that's what we do. I'm a videographer, Kath's a photographer. We specialise in property. Kath is a phenomenal property photographer. She had the pictures in the Times and everything, so it's just brilliant. So the reason why I'm telling you that is I've struggled to do things half-hearted. So my son-in-law said, just put a basic video out. I'm cutting it, editing it, putting music to it, and then before I knew it, in 1 week I'd be spending a whole day making a video, which is great. I loved doing it, and then as time got on, it got harder and harder and harder. It used to be every Friday at 5 o'clock, and now it's maybe once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks. So we're due to send one out.
We need to get more back regular with them.
Yeah.
But are you going to continue once you've finished this?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because this is, when we started building, the neighbours were taking a big interest in us, and I said, in 1 year this will all be finished, pool, house, the lot. Anyway, we're 18 months into it, and we're about halfway through. So, yes, there's a lot more to do, and I think even in 18 months when we're finished, I'd like to keep going.
Anyway, so here we are, Monday morning, got loads to do. Kath's here, but hang on, I'm not quite sure. Kath, where are you? Kath?
He said to jump up. Oh my God. What do you think I am?
An athlete, Kath, that's what you are.
I love watching your channel, I love watching Sarah and Leon's and other people's, like Rob and that. I love watching those channels, see what other people are doing, and you can really relate to what they say, think, oh yeah, I know what they're talking about because I've been through that, or I'm going through that.
But you've both lived in France for a long time now, haven't you?
Since 2002.
So are you fluent in French?
I wouldn't say fluent, but yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Because when we first came and started working, we would advertise for French and English. You'd get nobody in French. It was always English, which was a shame really, because we wanted to be getting out there and mingling, and it was difficult. It was tricky. But the kids went to school here, so when we came, our children were 9 and 12. So they went to school and just immersed in the language, and they're bilingual. And they'd come home and we'd be like, oh, let's do a little bit of French. No, we've been speaking French all day, we want to speak English. And then Tom, our son, so then he did 2 apprentissage courses in plumbing and electrics. And he was down in Agen, even more southern in the southwest of France. And so he's got a very Agenese accent. So when he speaks French, I'm like, oh,
there is a weird
that
accent
isn't French. Yeah, it's really very way.
It's very farmy.
Yeah, but it's a very agricultural
Farmer.
kind of frame.
Can I say that? I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Well, our friend farmer who owns all the land around us, very friendly with him, and man, he takes some listening to and some understanding.
Yeah.
But yeah. So no, we do okay. Because obviously we've had to work and the system, things have changed through the years. You have to go and sort out all the bureaucracy. And even telephone calls, you're like, well, at first it's like, oh, I can't do a telephone call, I'll just go in person. But then after COVID, everything went online, so it makes it a lot simpler to deal with. But no, we do everything now, so. But not fluent now, I wouldn't say fluent.
But clearly building this, you're here to stay now.
So do you know our story of being here?
Well,
We've been, no?
only from watching the build on this, really.
Yeah, we have yo-yoed a little bit. So when we came in 2002, there was hardly any English really here. The work was hard to find and it was really tricky. And Mark loves working. He just likes working all the time. He doesn't sit around. He's always having to do something, and it just got you really down into it. Because we came in end of August, beginning of September, so you went going into the winter. So it's not like the Downs and then, oh well, it's summer though and we can be outside. It's just, so we went back in the February. Lock, stock and barrel, everything. Back. Sold the land that we'd bought, went back, everything.
I didn't know that, no.
Spent 8 weeks in England, we're back again. Well, we're in England and I thought I made a terrible mistake.
On the ferry, I think.
Yeah, on the ferry going to England, I thought, because I'm not a quitter, I don't quit anything. And I thought, I'm quitting and I don't know why I'm doing this. So we went back and I said to Kath, I think I made a mistake.
Was it in about a week or 10 days
Kath
later?
was like, there's no way, I can't go, we're not going back again. Anyway, we did. 8 weeks later we were back and that was great, you know.
It was a different mindset then, and we moved to, so we started off in Fumel, but then we went to Montblanc, and there were other people there that we met, and
the schools were better.
Yeah, the school in Fumel, it was hard for the kids, but there were a few more English in Montblanc at the college, so they were happier, the kids. Yeah, never looked back really.
How's it changed? I mean, you said it was very different, is it?
What with the children?
Well, just life here now, because I've seen it change in just 2.5 years.
When we first came to France, one thing that I really noticed was around Christmas time, there was hardly any decorations. Halloween didn't really, they didn't do it. You didn't even know it was going on, Halloween, that kind of thing. Now, 20 odd years on, it's a massive thing. You know, the Christmas is a big thing, and I mean, of course, the French celebrated Christmas, of course they did, but it's such a massive thing now compared, and that's just in that 20 years. So just the way that they're kind of like catching up with that American, Anglo-American kind of lifestyle.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know, with more English coming and other Europeans, I don't think the French have changed towards, have they, too much? I think it's changed because of Brexit and after COVID, because the world did, didn't it? I think that was a big change, but I think that were a worldwide thing.
It's interesting because, I mean, sometimes I talk to people like yourselves and I'm quite jealous because you're here before this word Brexit, you know, and that's made it so much easier because we have to go through so many hoops now. But it's apparently getting easier now.
Yeah. Well, we went back to England again, sold up, because our kids had got married and grandchildren were arriving, and it were like, oh, let's have a change. So we sold up and went back again in 2016. So we ended up about October going. Bought a house over there, got work going, set up business, sorted, happy, no problem. And then we'd come back to do because obviously our video and photography is very seasonal. So we'd come back in the summer 3 times normally, May, June, and then in September. And eventually, after a couple of years, we thought, it'd be nice to have something back here.
Just get a holiday home.
Because, but when we left, I was like, I'm never going to live in that blooming country ever again. And then it was like, all right, we'll get a holiday home. So we bought a holiday home in just outside of Montflanken. Great. And then COVID hit. And so we wanted to do 50-50, but stay UK resident, and Brexit had happened. So it was a case of, right, where we're going to choose to stay, because we couldn't go back to do our work in the UK because then they started quarantine. And it was like, we ain't got enough time, 2 weeks to quarantine and then do our work. So Mark sold his business and we said, right, we'll stay in France and do residency again.
It was just before all Brexit happened, wasn't it? Yeah. So there was no visa or anything, because we still had our original paperwork, original social security number, everything just stayed the same. So we just dropped back into that whole system again just before Brexit all kicked off with the visas.
So we knew Brexit was happening, but we got in before the limit of time. Because it was you that said, let's turn it on its head, let's go for the residency again, and then we'll see afterwards what we want to do and decide. But then we sold our English house in 2022, 23.
So the question you asked, Richard, was, are we settled here now? And the answer to that is, yeah, we both have the same view of, we like England, we're not England haters or anything like that. We've got a family over there, but we could never ever see ourselves living there again. Never.
I think the first time we were here, I always thought eventually we're going to end up back in the UK at some point. And I'd see things happening and house prices and think, oh, it's going to be really, really tricky when we want to go back. Because obviously, if we'd stayed in the UK, we lived in just outside of Harrogate in Ayrshire, and our property now that we had would be worth a lot of money. But coming here, no. So you don't move with the times money-wise. So I thought it's going to be really tricky getting back, but we did okay, and we did a renovation and we did okay. But now coming back, I can never foresee myself ever living back in the UK again. But I did before, but I don't know.
Because you've had that opportunity of trying it.
Yes.
You've come back and gone forward and gone.
I think England's changed so a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just gone, it's getting worse and worse.
And of course you've got family here now.
Yeah, that makes...
It's great having Sarah.
Yeah, brilliant that. I love it.
Well, we used to have all our family here, mum and dad. My other sister lived here for a few years. We were all here, weren't we? Yeah. Apart from your brother.
Yeah.
And then bit by bit, stuff happens, but it's nice to have Sarah back. Yeah, it's great.
We're still on a huge learning curve, but we're already discovering things like the health system is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the people that watch think, oh, I don't want to go there. What's the health system like?
Oh,
but
amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We hadn't needed it, but it's there for if you do. And Mark's dad was was unwell while he was here. It started off here, his illness, and immediately went to the doctors. Right, I'll refer to that, and immediately he'd got polyps in his bladder that they discovered straight away, really early, sorted it, and it was done. And you think, oh, would it have been like that in the UK? I don't think so, not that quick, and it could have then developed something else. So.
They are very fast. I heard people saying that they go in for something wrong with the knee or the hip or something. Oh yeah, you need a hip replacement. When do you want? Next week, next month? Is that okay?
No, we're going to send you for your rehabilitation and your massage.
I'm sure there's other stories to do with it as well, but in our opinion, it is a good system, a very good system.
But it is nice that you've seen both sides twice.
Yes,
right? Three times.
Furniture. Well, our couch, the black couch that's at Sarah's, that's our...
Right.
We bought that a couple of years before we moved to France, back the year 2000 we bought that. That's had more holidays than, it loves it.
But it is funny sitting here because you're so close. And I keep tuning in when you do another episode. And I'm like, you must be in now, you must be in. And I look around and I see bits that you've done. And I say to Maria, surely they could just move in now and just live in that little bit.
Are we in the house yet? Are we in the house?
Semi.
No,
Not quite.
not really. We're still living in the caravan.
We're not sleeping in the house.
But you can't because of plumbing and all sorts,
Yeah,
is that right?
yeah.
And then we were doing really quite well, but where we'd we had the caravan to get on site to make it easier for working. We bought a caravan, as you'll have seen, to put on the site. But it was down at the bottom because we were too busy building here. And it was right where the septic tank soakaway needed to be. So then you're like, I've got to do that, so I can move that. Then I can do that. So you're always doing things to do other things.
But, I mean, you're clearly... I don't know how you do this. I mean, I can film and I can edit, but I couldn't do anything like this. But I see you getting stuck in as well, running the cables, up in the joists.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be, if anyone's ever thinking of doing anything like this, and they've got a partner, both of them have to be 100% dedicated, in my opinion anyway, for a self-build to work.
So just in the nick of time, we've got all the pipe work done.
So basically I was putting the water pressure into the pipe as they're pouring it now. Kath will show you them pouring it.
Otherwise...
And I've been doing the project management of it all and going and sourcing the materials and trying to get best prices on things. And then like for all the internal doors and things. So there's no point us both going and sitting. So we're using Montpazier, Freddie Verne. And we've known him since the first build. We're one of his early clients. He's like, oh, I can't believe you're doing another house, great. So he's provided most of the material, well, all of them really. So I'd sit in the office and I'd sit and he'd say, what about this, that? And I'm like, oh, I don't know about. So I'd get Mark and I'm like, Mark, on the FaceTime, just have a look at this. What do you think of that? Yeah, oh yeah, right, we'll have that. And it's like done and, you know. Capturing a momentous moment, especially for Mark, because he's been doing all the plasterboarding. I'll show you the momentous moment. What is the momentous moment?
What's occurring? So last piece of plasterboard just going on now in the house. I've got 2 pieces to put on, no, 3 in the utility. But in the house, main house, and I've got a piece there.
So it's not a momentous moment at all?
At all? No, it's not at all.
Oh well.
I think it's wonderful. We've talked a little bit, accidentally actually, about education. I wasn't expecting that, but that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sourcing materials, it seems like you've done a splendid job with that, because that was going to be one of my questions.
Yeah.
But what about things like planning? What's the process like compared to, say, the UK of getting, you know, I want to build this here?
Okay, so, because I'm not a builder at all, I don't know what it's like in England. I built an extension, well I haven't, I've had people do that for me. But for here in France, it seems easier. Again, Kath organises all that.
I don't. The permissions are easier in that you don't have like a building inspector come in. Like the extension we did in England, it had to come through the building inspector. So they'd come to site when you did your foundations, There's none of that.
So I think the best way to explain it is when we bought this piece of land, you've got to make sure you got what they call a CU, which is a certificate of urbanism, which basically says, yeah, you can build something on there. So then what we do is you submit your plans, right, you get them drawn up, so we had someone draw the plans up. To the Mary, and you send them off, and then they say, yes, that house is going to be okay on that piece of land, and then you buy the land. So you've got all your plans, and then you just go for it.
Yeah.
Dig the footings. The only thing that you get checked, that we're going to get checked on, one is the septic tank, and that's been passed, and the other one is the electrics. So you get, it's called a consuel come and check. They're coming on Wednesday next week. And then that's it. No one checks anything. Where in England, they check how deep your foundations are, how much concrete you're putting in, and then they just keep coming and checking everything. Here, they don't check.
That's interesting.
I think they do now like for your energy.
Yes, because of the glass and...
Yeah. So I think, but because everything's changed, the regulations have changed, I haven't looked into that too much, but we over-engineer anyway. So in the floor, instead of having 100 centimetres of insulation, we went 120.
And underfloor heating.
Well, underfloor heating, and going up on there, it'll be air conditioning, but reversible as well.
Wow.
Well, it's just,
Yeah, it's just going back to no one checking. Houses have what they call a decennial insurance. So if we had a builder come and build this, it'd be guaranteed for 10 years. Now, if we were to sell within 10 years, we'd have to personally guarantee the property for 10 years.
They come after you if there's...
So you take
it's
out
not for
insurance.
everything, it's for like...
Yeah, it keeps diminishing. After so many years, I don't know, like the electrics drop off, but the structural part of the property, that's guaranteed for 10 years.
Just talking about the underfloor heating, I was amazed at watching that go in.
yeah.
I mean, it was just the precision in that was incredible. But also, it's lovely just to catch up with you and a little bit on your lives and then find out what you really do. That's fascinating.
You'll have to do a revisit, won't you?
Yes.
In six months or something.
Yeah.
Yes, so that was my final question, is when's this finished then? When do you move in?
It's finished when it's finished.
We'll be moving in about 3 to 4 weeks. We've got family, a big family, all the family's coming over on the 6th of July. So I reckon we'll be in about two or three weeks we'll be in, but completely finished everything. I reckon we've got about another 12 to 18 months on it.
For the pool and bits.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's party time then.
Oh, and then we've got a caravan for sale.
Really good. What's that mean?
A vendre.
There's a caravan for sale, honestly.
We've lived in it a year, it's fabulous, it's amazing.
I don't know how you've done it. I honestly don't. Honestly. So lovely to meet you both.
You too.
Yeah, and you.
Thank you. So come on, let's try this. So our usual sign-off is, that's it, that's your lot.
From the lot.
From the lot. I know we're Lot-et-Garonne, but we actually live on the lot. So I'm going to say, so are you happy with your lot?
I'm happy with my lot.
I'm happy with my lot.
So that's it?
That's your lot.
On the lot, in the lot.
For the lot.
Until the next time. Goodbye. We got there roundabout way.